from the Redbird Arena. Welcome to high school basketball. Tonight, a battle of the unbeatens in Fox Valley Association basketball as the Fond du Lac Cardinals play host to the Rockets of Neenah. Good evening. I'm Mike Pfeiffer along with Nick Van Acker tonight to call the game for you. And Nick, we haven't seen a crowd like this here at the Redbird Arena for a few years. They've packed the house tonight. The far side bleacher, or the balcony, was not open until about 5 minutes ago. Looking across now, that's just about filled up. We're going to have pretty much of a packed house, but that's the way it should be. This is going to be a great basketball game. Both teams coming in here at 4-0 conference play. This is what High School Buckets is all about.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a very big crowd here tonight. It's been a long time. There's been a lot of criticism around the state and around the city, actually, that Fond du Lac has not been drawing for crowds, and this is a nice crowd to see tonight. Two teams, very good teams, two different style teams. Fond du Lac more of a bigger team, where Neenah doesn't have much size. They rely on their quickness of their point guards. So Fond du Lac's point guards, Mike Koenigs in the backcourt, and Travis Senior is going to have to step up big tonight, along with several other guys in that backcourt. So a very quick Neenah team, and Fond du Lac's going to have their hands full tonight.
Well, Neenah Rockets coming into this game have not beat the Fond du Lac Cardinals since 1992. That entails 11 straight losses to the Cardinals. We'll see the top three scorers in the FBA tonight in this basketball game. Drew Diener leading the way, of course. A pair of Rockets go number 2 and 3, averaging 20 and 17 respectively. So some offense will be here, but as you kind of alluded to, Nick, the real key may be how the Fond du Lac guards handle the pressure. Neenah feels they have to pressure Fond du Lac and try to take the ball away.
Well, Neenah uses the full court offense a lot, and they will tonight in this game. Fond du Lac has fared pretty good this year with the full court press. Their last game against Oshkosh West, they did a good job, so they're going to have to handle the press, and that's what they've had problems with in the last couple of years, is the full court press. So tonight, the guard play, as I mentioned, will be the big keys are to Fond du Lac winning this game.
Well, this is what High School Buckets is all about. It's a great atmosphere here tonight at the Redbird Arena. We'll take a break, and then Dave Preston will be right back to talk to head coach Dick Diener of the Fond du Lac Cardinals.
For high school sports, all the area schools, it's great to see you back in here, and you're making a great recovery. And I knew you'd be back. And
thanks very much. At least we're doing pregame.
Yeah. Well, you're really doing well, and as I say, you're going to keep getting better and better.
We hope so.
Well, you will,
So, yeah.
and everybody's praying for you. So
Thank you.
You're doing just fine. At any rate, yeah, we are off to a good start. We're pleased with the way our kids are playing. We're playing tough defense, it seems, and offensively we're getting good balance, and the shot selection's been good. We're shooting a good percentage, and you're going to shoot a good percentage when you get good shots. And the kids we have here are blending together quite nicely. So I think the team chemistry is where it's got to be, and we've got a big ball game tonight.
Coach Randall up at Oshkosh West has got to be having fits. He's never had a team that could really challenge the Fond du Lac Cubs the way he would like to. I think he felt that he could handle you guys this time around, especially on the home court. Really, you guys, in my estimation, made that a bit of a laugher because you handled them very, very well.
Well, we had to come from behind. They got out in front of us in the first quarter, and we played from behind, which is always good for a club to see how they're going to respond when their backs are to the wall. And we played real strong second quarter, and then the second half, we really owned that half of basketball. Our kids handled their full court pressure really, really well. Travis Diener came off the bench and seemed to go right through their press. And defensively, as I said, we played great, and Mike Koenigs did a great job on Danny Weiss, their all-conference guard.
Take away the fact that Travis is your son, this young man has played, I think, extremely well in a backup role as a backup point guard, and it's very nice to be able to have him coming off the pines for you.
Yeah, he's done a real nice job, but I've got to correct you. He's not my son.
That's right.
Okay,
right.
That's okay.
That's right.
He's my nephew, Bob's boy, and he's done a very nice job. And he plays with a lot of confidence, and he's going to be a real asset to the club.
You're going to get Dan Schrum back tonight. You must be glad to see that.
Absolutely. Dan is back, and as I think most of our fans know, went to Australia for 14 days on a baseball all-star tour. And he's practiced now the last 4 days. He looks actually like he's in decent shape, like he didn't lose too much. So it's nice to have him back because he's another guy that was with us from the time he was a sophomore. So he brings a lot of experience, and he's a tough kid, plays smart, likes to mix it up, and that's what we look for in a lot of our players.
The talk I hear around town is that Drew Neenah has not yet hit his stride yet this year. He's playing good ball. The three shot is not dropping the way he would like to see it. That's going to come.
Well, yeah, he was starting to get his shot squared around the last two games prior to Oshkosh West, and then he sprained his ankle, and against Oshkosh West was hobbled by that. And really offensively, I think only took 9 shots in the ball game. On the year now, he's actually shooting about 40% on the 3-ball. And I think, you know, from what I've seen in practice here, his 3-point shot looks real solid right now, and he's had a real solid year for us. He's leading our team in assists and one of our top rebounders, and he's playing better defense than he's ever played. He leads us in steals. So Drew's having a fine year. Maybe not scoring as much as people were expecting him to, but there's many nights where teams are loading their defense up to stop him, and Drew is the kind of kid that doesn't care if he scores. You know, he'll sacrifice himself to have other players score, and I think other people are seeing some openings because of the defenses that are geared to stop Drew. And you know, that's just fine with Drew, and you know, whoever is open, you know, within their shot selection should be scoring.
And he has passed up an awful lot of shots this year, I think, to find another open man, which is fine. That just goes to show how unselfish a player he is.
Well, I think he is, and I think, you know, he makes people around him better by the way he plays.
Now you have the Neenah Rockets in tonight. Of course, not the old running gun type of thing that we used to see with Ron Einerson, but still a very fine team. Probably the best team that they've had in the last half decade anyway.
Yeah, they've been pointing toward this season for a few years now. They've got a senior class here that has a lot of experience. A couple of these kids have been starting since they've been sophomores. They're undefeated in our league. They've got a great, talented, quick perimeter. They have 4 guys outside that can really take you to the rack off the dribble. So our defense is really going to be tested in terms of our ability, number one, to get back on defense and get our defense set, and then to contain their penetration, because they really love to penetrate.
What about their pressing game? Do we see them press as much as they used to? This used to be something that really bothered Fondy like in the past, not so much this year.
They will press probably the whole game. A man-to-man run and jump press is probably what we're going to do. They're going to try to use that quickness to their advantage. They're not the tallest team around, so they want to use their athleticism.
Dick Diener, head basketball coach of the Fondy Cardinals. They get ready to take on the Neenah Rockets here tonight. And we'll be right back with the starting lineups for both teams right after this.
We've got fortunate news. They're right in front of us, and we're going to heck of a time seeing this game. Right now, let's go down to Dave Bartoludi with our starting lineups. First of all, as the tradition is, the non-starters.
Aaron Shaw. Number 34, Ryan Peterson. Number 4, Ryan Lennertz. Number 52, Brian Picora. Number 5, Brian Starkel. Number 30, Brandon Holzell. Number 54, Derek Hebner. And number 32, Jason Picora. For Fond du Lac Cardinals, number 3, Steve Falk. Number 4, Nick Singer. Number 5, Dan Schrum. Number 10, Travis Diener. Number 12, Dallas Diener. Number 20, Jerome Allen. Number 24, Mark Simon. Number 33, Drake Diener. And number 34, Cameron Ziggy. Now for the starting lineup for Neenah, number 3, John Fleming. And for Fond du Lac, number 13, Brad Reinke. For Neenah, number 12, Sam Oatman. And for Fond du Lac, number 21, Drew Diener. For Neenah, number 20, Matt Hopkins. And for our Cardinals, number 25, Mike Koenig. For Neenah, number 42, Craig Steer. And for our Cardinals, number 32, Andy Rose. For the Rockets, number 44, Dan Hozell. And for the Cardinals, 44, Casey Jacob. Neenah's coached by Tim Hoppins, partner, and final act, Dick Diener.
And there you do have our starting lineups tonight. And here, before we get going, maybe we can quickly take a look at the FBA standings to show the importance of the game. While I rearrange things here. Dick, you got to think of...
All right, Fond du Lac on top at 4-0 along with Neenah. So this game, as we mentioned earlier, is the premier game, probably maybe even in the state tonight. Kimberly at 3-1 along with Oshkosh West. Oshkosh North at 2-2 with Appleton North. Kaukauna, Appleton East, Menasha, and Appleton West, rounding out the bottom of the Fox Valley Association Conference.
Well, as we said, jam-packed house here at the Redbird Arena. And I'll ask you right now, bear with us as we call this game a little bit. Anything on the near side, quite frankly, I'm going to have a very difficult time seeing. The student section, everybody in the gymnasium is sitting down except the 30 people right in front of us. So bear with us a little bit here, but hopefully we should have no problem bringing you the picture as we get goes on the way here. Just off the opening tip, tapped out of bounds, will go to the Neenah Rockets. No, Fond du Lac Cardinals.
Fond du Lac's key in this game is to get off to a good start right away and put some points on the board.
Koenig's is fouled. Oh, no, it's going to be a double dribble here against Fleming. Against Drew Diener, I should say. Fleming tips the ball free. Dave, we're not going to be able to do anything about that. It's just jam-packed up here all the way around us.
Fond du Lac, a team not known for many turnovers in the game, so early on, one turnover.
Right side with it, Hopkins scoring 20 points a game, the second leading scorer in the conference. Number 3 is John Fleming, who will be wearing number 3. So as we mentioned in the pregame, the 1, 2, 3 scorers in the FBA encountering each other here tonight. Off the top of the key, that's Hopkins, kicks it back out to Fleming. Fleming works inside, dips inside, partially blocked, I think, by the Cardinals, and away with the Cardinals down quickly. Ranky, turn around from 6, off the back of the rim, no good. Pulled down there by Steer. Craig Steer averages 6 points a game for the Rockets. Taking it down inside, Steer loses the handle, kicks it back outside, gives it to Hopkins. His 3 balls, back of the rim, pulled down there by Casey Jekyll of the Cardinals. Out on a run once again. Jekyll now is going to hold it up at the 3-point line. Lob pass inside the roll. It's good weak side help there. Coming across with Sam Oatman to take the ball away.
Second turnover for the Fond du Lac Cardinals here in the game.
Good defense on the part of the Rockets. Give it there to Fleming. Working it out, right side free throw line extended down to the baseline. Looks like Helzel gets away with a bit of a travel. No call. Back to Fleming. Fleming skip pass to the near side. Give it off there to Hopkins. Running one-hander inside. Rim and nothing else. However, it's pulled down there by Dan Helzel. Give inside to Steer. He puts it in first 2 of the basketball game.
Fond du Lac has been playing pretty good defense early on. That time just gave up a little bit and an easy layup.
2-0 is your KFC score just underway here from the Redbird Arena. 6:15 to go in the first. Drew Diener pulls up. Good! And a foul.
Nice shot that time by Drew Diener. That's a guy that's got to have a big game. He's got a sore ankle, so that'll be a key in the game tonight, but right now it doesn't show any effects.
Diener gets the bucket. The foul will go against Sam Oatman. His first, the team's first. So Diener will have an opportunity to give the Cardinals their first lead in the basketball game. Back of the rim, rare miss, but Jekyll pulls down the board.
Good job by Casey Jekyll to bang the boards that time for Fond du Lac.
Okay, next to the near side, give it to Rose. Inside popping, there is Casey Jekyll, bucket for 2.
Fond du Lac that time got a second chance look at the basket after Drew Diener missed a field goal, and Casey Jekyll took advantage of it.
So it's 4-2, Fond du Lac lead with 5:50 to go in the first quarter of action. Worked into the right side. Steer, his long 3 balls in front of the rim. Run down there by Koenig. Pushes it to the far side. That's Drew Diener. Drew stutter steps. Now he's going to pull up and a foul prior to the shot.
Fond du Lac controlling the boards here in the first quarter, 4-1 over the Neenah Rockets.
Foul will go against Steer for the Rockets. His second team foul here for Neenah. Cardinals inbound side court. Give it to Koenig between the rings. Back to Jekyll. Diener bumped and banged as he comes through the middle. No whistle there. Incidental contact they'll call. Rose inside. One-hander gets nothing but air on it. Pulled down by Dan Helzel. Fleming out on the run. gives it off to the right side. Hopkins, ball is short in front of the rim, pulled down there by Steer. Going to reset the offense. Kick it back out to the guard, Sam Oatman. Now inside, Helzel's shot is blocked. Jekyll on the block there for Fond du Lac. Drew Diener away to loose change. Drew works inside, pulls up from 16, hits the front of the rim. Jekyll on the board. Has it knocked out of his hands by Fleming. Jekyll last the touch to go back to Neenah. Nice job defensively there by John Fleming.
Yeah, good job that time by the Neenah Rockets. Fond du Lac another second chance look at the basket, but Neenah, give them a lot of credit, did a good job on Casey Jekyll that time.
4:50 to go in the opening quarter of play here. Off the baseline, shot from Oatman was back of the rim. Cardinals with another board. Both teams coming out rather slow here in the quarter. Cardinals break the pressure. Inside to Rose. Backside help once again by Steer, and the Cardinals lose the ball. Good defense.
Yep, good defense by Neenah. They have 4 turnovers in the game.
Off the break, Hopkins looks to the left and comes back to the right, but within all that, he stutters steps, traveling back to Fond du Lac.
Fond du Lac, as I mentioned early on, a team that doesn't turn the ball over very often, and in the first quarter, Neenah's defense is doing a good job on having Fond du Lac not taking care of the basketball.
Aaron Shaw in now for the Rockets, and the Rockets showing zone for the first time, a 1-2-2. Hopkins on the point. Cardinals going to look over the offense, set it up, taking their time, patient against the zone defense. Got Rose on the baseline open, can't get it to him. He reset the top. Koenigs, Rinke, now it's Jaskell, right side sidewalk.
Good patience offense right now by the Fond du Lac Cardinals. We mentioned that a lot this year, is they aren't ready to take it to the hoop when they can't find an open shot. A good, patient basketball team.
Looking back door, you got Jekyll, takes it to the glass. No good, fouls it up and puts it in.
Casey Jekyll that time, a second chance shot. Fond du Lac has had a lot of them early on in the game. They miss the basket and get another look at it.
Jekyll with 4 of the Fond du Lac 6 points. Fond du Lac leads it 6-2 with 3:40 to go in the first. Fleming works it to the far side. Leaving off for Hopkins. Nice job defensively, pulling up. Shot in front of the rim, no good there from Oatman. Cardinals out with the glass.
Neenah 0 for 4 from three-point range here in the first quarter.
Drew Diener, front of the rim on the 3 ball, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Hopkins, leaves it off for John Fleming. Fleming between the rings. Going to work it now to the near side. Back to Oatman. Fleming, a long 3 ball. Hits the back of the rim, hits it twice in the bounce. Jekyll with another board. Fond du Lac continues to do a nice job on the boards defensively.
Neenah is 1 for 9 shooting from the field here in the first quarter. So Fond du Lac's defense is doing a really good job on the Neenah Rockets here in the first quarter.
And likewise, I would say Neenah's defense has been very good, forcing some Fond du Lac turnovers. Been a defensive effort thus far. Diener wide open for 3-point range. Couldn't get the handle. Resets the offense. Now it's Rose. Left side sidewalk. Skip pass. Koenigs wide open for 3. Rims won't go. Pulled down by Aaron Shaw. Leaves it in the backcourt there for Sam Oatman. Oatman brings it across the timeline. The yo-yo the dribble. Slowing the pace to this game up a little bit. Take it to the right. Now trying to penetrate. Loses the handle. Might have got away the travel there. Gives it off to Derek Hubner in the game for the first time. Shot from 3-point range is no good. Another rebound for Jekyll.
Jekyll is just crashing the boards. He's having a big first quarter so far for the Fond du Lac Cardinals.
Drew Diener falls. His shot will not go. Pulled down by Hubner. Hubner and JV up off of the JV squad, I should say, getting time tonight. Fleming won't go. Cardinals with another board. Out on the run. Rose, looking for Rose, was Diener. Tipped out of bounds there by Hopkins.
The last 4 times down the court, Neenah has shot a 3-pointer. Right now, they have shot a lot of 3-pointers in this game. They've shot so far 7 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Rinke and Rose come out as Cardinals go to the bench the first time. In for Fond du Lac at point guard, Travis Diener, and also Dan Schrum in. Now, Schrum, as we know, missed the last 3 games on the trip to Australia for baseball. Cardinals would be happy to have him back tonight.
That'll be a big boost for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. That senior leadership of Dan Schrum. He's a very vocal guy and a guy that really does a good job for this basketball team.
The key will be Dan has not had that playing time now for 3 weeks. Drew Diener from 3, back of the rim, won't go. Pulled down on a long rebound by Oatman. Skip pass, far side. Leave it off there for Steer, trying to penetrate. He's going to force up a shot in front of the rim, won't go. And a jump ball. As both Steer and Jekyll come down with the ball. Possession arrow will stay with the Neenah Rockets.
Fond du Lac has missed their last 4 shots in the game, and Neenah has missed their last 8 shots, so both teams struggling from the field.
Craig Steer to inbound underneath his own basket, side right. Give it off inside there to Shaw. In some trouble. Yo-yo's the dribble. He's going to take it now between the rings. Diener on the defense. Give it off to the near side to somebody I can't see. Oh, that's Hopkins. Hopkins pulls up. Good defense by Schrum. However, the rebound is put back in by Oatman.
That time, second chance shot did a good job on only their 4th point of the basketball game, 6-4, a very low-scoring game here in the first quarter.
Under a minute to go, and who'd have thunk that, huh?
I know.
6-4, 2 high-powered scoring teams. Good defense. Of course, when you have pressure teams, they always want to feel each other out. Skip pass, far side to Travis Diener. Take it now to Drew. Looks through 3, thinks better of it. Rotate around, skip pass to Drew Diener to Travis. Travis, nice head and shoulders, penetrates, kicks it out to Koenigs. Back of the net, good! Mike Koenigs, nice! Penetrate, dish back out there by Diener.
Good ball movement that time for Fond du Lac, just waiting for the open shot. Mike Koenigs got a good penetration by Travis Diener and kick back out to Mike Koenigs. Good offense that time by the Fond du Lac Cardinals.
15 seconds to go here in the quarter. Fond du Lac looking to hold them, and now a travel will be called on Sam Oatman. So Fond du Lac with 11 seconds to go will get the last look at things here in the quarter.
That's Neenah's 3rd turnover in the game. Fond du Lac has 4.
Diener bringing it across now, the clock rolling down. 3 ball from Travis Diener, nothing but air. 2-1, and we've come to the end of the first quarter of action here from the Redbird Arena. After 1, your KFC score. Fond du Lac Cardinals 8, the Neenah Rockets 4. Nick and I'll be right back.
Eight rebounds and 3 turnovers.
And I think you're, thanks to Jim Steinberg here, I think we're going to actually get a chance to sit down.
That's nice. My feet hurt.
I just want to be able to see a little bit. Cardinals inbound to start the second quarter of play. Dave, we'll get that camera in a second. Lob pass inside to Rose. Puts it off the glass wall goal. Rebounded there by Drew Diener. Puts it in.
Good second chance shot that time. Fond du Lac had quite a few in the first quarter, so that time, good job by Drew Diener on the boards.
So it's now a 10-4 lead for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Fleming works it off the left side. Ready one-hander, hits the front of the rim. Fond du Lac defense continues to be strong.
Fond du Lac doing a good job on defense. How many times can you say you can hold a team to 4 points? But likewise, Neenah's done a pretty good job too, holding Fond du Lac to 6 points.
It's been a good high school basketball game. Lots of intensity. Off the left side, 3 ball is good from Reinke.
Brad Reinke just cranks up the 3 that time and nothing but the bottom of the net.
13-4, your KFC score here. 6:50 to go in the first half of action. Inside. Partially blocked shot there from Hopkins. Cardinals away with it. Trying to have a positive on the numbers. Give the Jekyll to the basket. No. Pulled down by John Fleming.
That time, Casey Jekyll missed a little easy layup. Neenah, good job on defense.
Well, Neenah did a nice job of forcing him deep on the baseline. Had a tough angle to come in from the near side.
Yep.
Skip pass, far side, Oatman. Looks at the 3, thinks better of it, kicks it out there to Steer. He takes the 3 ball. Nice job of boxing out there by the Drew Diener.
And Neenah taking a lot of 3-pointers in this game. 8 or 9 so far for the Neenah Rockets.
Koenigs, left side sidewalk, give it to Rose. Standing right in the 3-point line. Gets inside, looking inside now for Casey Jekyll, but overleads him a little bit. Right now, the timeout's going to be taken here. Let's check if it's going to be a full. I believe a full timeout it is. Rockets going to take it with 6:03 to go here in the first half of play. Fond du Lac leads it 13-4. We'll keep it right here and remind you today's game brought to you by Jetstream Car Wash with 2 locations in Fond du Lac. It's Fond du Lac's original car wash since 1962. Their new oil and lube center is opening soon. A free full service car wash with every oil change. That's a $9 value. You can't beat that. That's at Jetstream Car Wash. We welcome them to our sponsorship here on Video Sports. Game also brought to you by Diener Painting and Decorating of Fond du Lac. Painting and decorating fine establishments in the area for over 20 years. Yours could be next, but only if you call 922-2629. That's Diener Painting and Decorating. 6:03 to go here in the first half of play. First time out of the game, they're taking...
Fond du Lac quietly jumping out to a 9-point lead here, so putting a little bit of space between them and Neenah.
Defense has been very, very good. Hopkins nails a long two.
Good job that time. Neenah not shooting very well in the game, but they keep plugging away, and eventually they're going to start falling for him.
Hopkins coming in, averaging an even 20 a game. That's his first 2 of the basketball game. Drew Diener with it left side. Going to pull up to about 14. Good.
Drew Diener hasn't done a whole lot of scoring-wise this year. He had one big game that we aired early on in the season, but has been kind of quiet, hampered lately by ankle injury, but looking pretty good tonight.
A little bit slow with that ankle injury yet. Ball loose on the court. Schrum tied up, and a jump ball. And now, little square off on the court. You don't see that happen very often.
And you don't take it to Dan Schrum because he's a big football player, and he won't mess around with a whole lot.
That's
Is that Derek Coleman? Derek Coleman and Corliss Williamson?
That is probably the last guy you want to mess around with in the court is Dan Schrum.
Yeah, Dan Schrum, a big linebacker and a running back for the Fond du Lac football team, and that time not putting up with a whole lot.
Well, no harm, no foul, as the officials just talked to each player involved. They want to settle it down, and we're back to basketball.
NBA fight the other night. We don't need too many of those.
Oh, that was brutal.
That was a classic.
Off the near side steer. Works to the handle, now gets it right back. Fleming with the basketball. Works it to the free throw line now, kicks it back out to Hopkins. McQueen into the game for the first time. Brandon McQueen wearing number 10 with the basketball there, however, was Oatman. Left side. Fleming, blocking foul.
A very physical game, and the refs are letting him play to a certain extent, but right now I wouldn't be surprised if they toughen up a little bit on the fouls because they don't want another little incident to break out.
Well, I'll tell you, follow-up, by the way, there will go against Koenig. But things are a little heated inside. Fleming and Koenig exchanging words right there in that series.
But a game with this much intensity, you got to expect that. Both teams are very good teams and want to win this game, and just the excitement and motivation gets these guys going.
Peter picks it off, and a foul. Foul will go against the Rockets. Craig Steer, he'll be his second. I'll tell you, in this basketball game, intensity and emotions are sky high on both sides right now.
And yeah, when you get down on the ground and with the intensity this high, and like Fleming and Schrum are on the ground, both fighting for the ball, stuff like that breaks out, and you can't really, get it upset at the guys with so much intensity. They're just doing a good job. Drew Diener going to the free throw line now to shoot 2 after the foul.
The foul was against Steer, I did tell you that. Drew Diener hits the first, we'll get one more. Fond du Lac now 1 for 2 with the charity stripe in this basketball game. Diener's second is on the way and also good.
Fond du Lac 11-point lead now, so give Fond du Lac's defense a lot of credit. Now the offense starting to pick up.
Coming inside, Oatman loses the handle. Last touch by Fond du Lac out of bounds. Back to the Rockets.
I'm waiting for the referees to start calling a travel on that. He brings the ball around. It's seen a couple times the fans getting on the referees a little bit. That should be called as a travel.
And now they're going to call a blocking foul on Andy Rose. For Andy, it'd be number 1. Only the second team foul. Common foul. For Fond du Lac, here comes Casey Jaco back into the ball game as Dan Schrum's going to go down and cool off those emotions a little bit. Well, when you're in there for a purpose.
Dan-
These guys are used to winning. They play hard.
And Dan Schrum, a guy that hasn't got much playing time, he's out there and ready to fight.
Off the rebound, they're going to call Brandon McQueen on the pushing foul. He got hot and bothered out in Australia, Dave says. McQueen picks up his first, the fourth team foul on the Rockets. 4:10 to go in the first half of play. Fond du Lac with a 17-6 lead. Diener, Drew, back to Travis. Back to Drew Diener.
Neenah in a zone defense right now.
Pass looking for Rinke coming inside, and he overthrew him out of bounds. A turnover for Fond du Lac with 3:57 left in the first half.
That's Fond du Lac's sixth turnover. As we mentioned earlier, they don't turn the ball over too much, but tonight, 6 turnovers. Give Neenah's defense a lot of credit for that.
Fleming working to the left side. Good penetration. Gets underneath Rhodes. Misses the shot. Jaco at the board. Gives it off. Here comes Drew Diener. Pulls up from 3. Won't go. Pulled down by Open. There they come on a run the other way. It's Aaron Shaw. Lays it up and in.
Neenah is finally getting their second field goal, of the quarter. They're 2 of 7 from the field, still struggling.
Fond du Lac has been very patient offensively, again, especially since the Rockets went to that zone defense. Skip pass to Travis Diener. Gonna penetrate, bump the bang, no call. Give it back to Travis now, left side, down to Jaco, right side, left side coffee corner. Foul. Gonna go against Hopkins as Rinke went to the floor.
Right, well, Reinke hit the floor pretty hard that time. Foul, and Reinke will get 2 shots. So Fond du Lac getting now a second chance again at the free throw line.
Check that. They called that on Fleming. My mistake. For Fleming, it'll be his first. Rinke to the line to shoot his first free throws in the basketball game. Misses the first. We'll get one more. Today's game is brought to you by Hullen Carpentry and Repair, providing quality remodeling and complete home repairs to the area for the past 17 years. Call 921-6493, Hullen Carpentry and Repair. As Rinke gets 1 out of 2, Fond du Lac now a 10-point edge at 18-8. Fleming, a long 3 ball is good.
First 3-point basket of the game for Neenah. They're starting to slim in the lead a little bit. 18-11, Fond du Lac on top.
And Fleming averaging 17.5, the number 3 scorer in the Fox Valley Association. His first points in the basketball game. Fond du Lac has done an outstanding job showing the big guys. Nice dish off by Diener. Gives it to Jaco.
Good job by Travis Diener, Good penetration like you've seen early on in the game, and that time dished it off to Casey Jaco.
Tough shot put in there by Hopkins. 4 points for Hopkins.
Neenah's now hit their last 3 shots down the court, so they're starting to heat up a little bit.
Now, Travis Diener is an outstanding shooter, but I tell you, I'm as impressed as his ability to get in, penetrate, and create off of that dribble. Done a nice job finding open men.
A very unselfish point guard, and that's what you ask for in a point guard, a good shooter and a guy that's not afraid to get the ball out.
Jaco off the left side baseline, no good. Tipped out to Diener. Shot likewise is off the back of the rim, and Hopkins comes out with it. Gotta get in his face. He pulls it up and puts it in. Hopkins starting to feel it right now. Gotta stay on him.
20-15, Neenah's making a little bit of a run at the Fond du Lac Cardinals. The Cardinals are up by 11 at 1 point in the game.
Diener doubled up. Cardinals got numbers right now. Rinke, 3 ball, bucket!
Brad Reinke does another 3-pointer here in the game. He had one early on. Brad Reinke doing a good job from outside the arc.
Rinke actually leading the Cardinals. Check that. He's not leading the Cardinals. Rinke with 7, Diener with 8. Long 3 ball, still good foul on Rinke. Brad's first personal.
Neenah is 1 for 10 3-pointers for 3-point range here in the game.
They've thrown a lot of them up in for the Rockets. Craig Steer back in as Hopkins comes out. Rose back in for Fond du Lac. Up the inbounds pass, Shaw's shot is no good. However, Rockets run it down. Penetration inside from Oatman. No, Fond du Lac with the board. Nice reverse dribble there on Fond du Lac's part. You're up to Diener to the glass. Good and a foul!
Good job by Drew Neenah that time. Good ball movement by Fond du Lac, and Drew Neenah finishes off and gets fouled.
Fond du Lac runs that breakout perfectly. 3-man involved, and they use all 3.
And I don't think Fond du Lac fans were shocked at who was going to get the ball and the layup that time.
Holtman gets his second personal. Drew missed a pair of free throws tonight. That's very unusual for him.
Yeah, but Drew Neenah usually a guy that goes to the arc, and you can put 2 free throws down for him, struggling here from the free throw line.
2 for 4, as a matter of fact, for Drew. Running one-hander inside. And the second is an offensive foul. No, a blocking foul on Dan Schrum. Danny's first in the basketball game. 4th team foul. And to the free throw line will go Craig Steer. First free throws of the basketball game for the Neenah Rockets tonight. First is back of the rim, but no good. Fond du Lac Mosaic Tile Company. Ceramic and quarry tile, slate, and marble. All installed by our professional craftsmen since 1948. Fond du Lac Mosaic Tile at 922-2910. Steer second, rims and falls. So 1 out of 2 for Craig Steer.
Should be interesting now. I think Fond du Lac might work for 1 shot, and the way it looks right now is that's what they're going to do.
With 36 seconds to go in the half, that's a lot of time, but as long as Neenah stays in that zone, and now they're going to come out and match up. Force Fond du Lac to move the ball.
And if you're Neenah, you want one more look at the basketball hoop before the end of the half.
Janko with it, clock rolls down to 17. Look out for the pass there. And a traveling call. Well, Fleming did a nice job of overplaying on Koenig's. Couldn't tell from this angle if there was any contact or not, to be frank about it. Fond du Lac bipartisan fans obviously wanted a foul there, but not to be the case.
Yeah, it was tough to tell from our angle on whether Fleming got a hand on Koenig's arm or not.
Down clock going down to 2. Shot taken there, back of the rim, won't go, put in. No, they wipe it away. It was put in by Steer at the buzzer, but the official says too late. So we've come to the end of the first half here from the Redbird Arena. It's been a good one. Your KFC score. The Fond du Lac Cardinals 25, the Neenah Rockets 16. Well, at halftime, our activities today brought to you by Baker's String Cheese. With only 79 calories in each stick, it's the perfect snack food for the kids. The fun food that's so easy, just peel and eat. And it's healthy for you. High protein, 100% natural. Baker's String Cheese, the official halftime snack food of the video sports team. Available at fine food stores everywhere. That's Baker's String Cheese of St. Cloud. Halftime today also brought to you by KFC, featuring home delivery. Take the hassle out of mealtime with KFC. Intensity certainly has been a factor. We've had a few tempers flare in the first half of play, but both teams out at it, at least defensively, really doing a heck of a job.
Well, yeah, the atmosphere in this building right now is electrifying. Both teams, defense has been the key in this game so far. We expected kind of a high-scoring game, 2 high-powered offenses, but defense has done a good job, and Fond du Lac's defense, I think, is just doing a tad better than Neenah's defense. Fond du Lac only having Neenah put up a few points in the game. After 1 quarter of play, Neenah had 4 points on the board. So give Fond du Lac's defense a lot of credit and give the whole team a lot of credit.
Well, keep in mind, the Neenah Rockets went to that zone defense in the second quarter to start it out, tried to stay to it. So I would suspect Fond du Lac might want them to get out of that. And I'd be a little surprised maybe if we don't see the Cardinals come out and hold the ball a little bit in the second half to force them to come back to that man defense.
Neenah's doing a good job with that defense. Fond du Lac with 7 turnovers in the game, and not too often do you see 7 turnovers even in the whole game for Fond du Lac. So 7 turnovers in the first half is more than Dick Diener probably wants to give up, but Neenah's defense is doing a really good job, and you're right. Fond du Lac does not want to see that zone defense, so I expect them to slow the ball down a lot more in the second half.
Tonight we're unveiling some new apparel here for Fond du Lac. Through G-Force, Mike Jaber of Fond du Lac has the clothing line that I'm wearing tonight, and he's been gracious enough to give us a little show to you tonight. It's G-Force for Packer clothing. Let's see the logo that they entail, and of course, you're more familiar with Hogwear that they started some years ago for the Redskins. Of course, Corey Raymer of the Fond du Lac, the former Fond du Lac Cardinal of the Redskins. That's where it all got going. But Mike Jaber and the head of G-Force and Hogwear apparel for Fond du Lac, and again, he's been gracious enough to give us a little clothing to show you throughout the course of the season. Let's take a look at the first half stats here, Nick.
Alrighty, let's take a look at the first half stats. For the Fond du Lac Cardinals, they were 10 of 24 shooting for 42%, 3 of 6 from the charity stripe for 50%, 14 rebounds, and 7 turnovers. For the Neenah Rockets, they were 7 for 29 shooting for 24%, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe for 50%, 12 rebounds, and 4 turnovers.
And as we take a look at the scoring here for the first half, Fond du Lac Cardinals led by Drew Diener with 10 points, Reinke with 7, Jekyll with 6. Rockets tonight led by Hopkins with 6 points. Nobody else with more than 3 here for the Rockets. Our stats today, as always, brought to you by Jerry Lenz Sales and Service. Lenz is the name, trucks are our game. Stop in for a test drive and check out our Snowway snowplows at Jerry Lenz Sales and Service. We'll step aside and be right back with the second half tip-off right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report. Lots of intensity in this basketball game. The Cardinals have the inbound. Drew Diener inside his shot rims, won't go in. And the Rockets away with the rebound. Pulling up from 15, Oatman's back of the rim. Diener again. Drew Diener's been active, and again we talked about that ankle, and that was one area that Dick Diener told me he was having a problem, is jumping, but he's had a ton of boards this game. Jacob reverses, won't go, fouls it up and puts it in.
Good job by Casey Jekyll. Had time to stay with the board, got the rebound, and put back a second look at the basket.
Long 3-ball from Flemings in.
Neenah struggled from the three-point line in the first half, 1 of 10, and come out here in the second half still shooting the three-pointer and hitting the first one.
And the Rockets coming out full bolt pressure, but Fond du Lac has no problem. Diener with a long 3-ball. Maybe forced that one a little bit. That was, I think, about 6 feet behind the line.
That's a shot, long three-pointer that sometimes you don't want to take.
3 seconds here on Dan Helzel.
Just a mental error that time by Neenah. 3 seconds in the lane. Those are the kind of turnovers coaches just hate to see. 3 seconds, you know you're not supposed to be in the lane for 3 seconds, and that time Neenah was.
Full board pressure again, zoning it up against Fond du Lac. Phoenix in a little bit of trouble, finds Jekyll wide open at the timeline, but throws it away. Looking cross court, picking in front was Oatman. And now a blocking foul. It's going to go against Casey Jekyll.
Fond du Lac looked like that time they broke the full court offense, full court defense, but give Neenah a lot of credit. A bad pass by the Fond du Lac Cardinals. That foul that time will go on Casey Jekyll. That'll be his first foul and the first team foul for the Fond du Lac Cardinals.
And timeout's going to be taken, a 20-second timeout by Dick Diener, so we'll keep it right here. We'll mark down his first 20. And we remind you, today's game is brought to you by Call Insurance of Fond du Lac. And they have joined forces with the Jackson Agency to form Jackson Call Insurance, your independent insurance agent. 2 great agencies, all under one roof at the corner of Sheboygan and Mar. Bob Jackson and Bob Call. Because they work for themselves, they'll work harder for you. Give them a call at 923-4020. That's Jackson Call Insurance of Fond du Lac. Following the 20-second timeout, the Rockets inbound underneath their own basket. And they have no problem getting it in off the far side sidewalk. Shot taken there by Hopkins. Rims won't go. Diener with another rebound.
Drew Diener and Casey Jekyll both have been really crashing the boards tonight. 14 rebounds in the first half, doing a very good job on controlling the rebounds when they can get them.
Foul away from the basket on the Rockets will go against Craig Steer. He'll be his 3rd personal. First team here in the second.
At times, Steer just pushed Drew Diener away, Drew trying to get position to possibly post up.
Drew to inbound the basketball, needs some help. Now comes way out high to Koenigs. Koenigs bring to the left side. Rinke back to Mike Koenigs between the rings. Swing it to the right, back to Koenigs.
Neenah still in the zone defense.
Rose off the coffin corner, puts it in.
Andy Rose, a guy that you haven't heard his name too much in this game, right there hits an easy jumper. That's his first basket of the game.
And a foul as Hopkins takes it to the hole. Foul will go against Fond du Lac's Andy Rose, his second.
And that's a time you don't want to hear his name.
Common foul. Rockets inbound underneath their own basket side left. They have no problem as they get into Fleming. Fleming works it to the free throw line, kicks it back out high. With it, there's Holtman as he falls away off the glass. Ball tipped out high. Fleming away with the board. Puts it up, won't go. And the Cardinals come down with the loose change. Both teams fighting feverishly on the glass.
Good job that time. Neenah Rose tipped the ball back right into one of the Neenah guys' hands, and that time Fond du Lac, good job on the boards.
Jaco off the baseline short. Neither team getting many open looks at the basket tonight. That's why shooting percentages are low in this game.
Yep, very good defense by both teams.
Hopkins has his shot deflected. No, they're going to say it went clearly. Out of bounds. I think he was looking to dish off there. I thought Fond du Lac had deflected it, but the officials will take their call.
When it's not against us, we'll go with it.
That's right. Cross court, they had Rose down low, cheating in the break. Couldn't see him, but they have no problem getting across. Diener penetrating, throws up a one-hander off the glass. Drew Diener.
Those are the kind of shots that only Drew Diener can make. A very good hang time that time by Drew.
Just floating, a three ball from Fleming. No, Diener hits the court. Pulled away, rebound there by McQueen. Gives it back to Fleming. Inside, Grims won't go, but a foul. I think it's going to be on Jake.
If it's on Jake, that'll be his third, so Casey getting in a little bit of foul trouble here.
No, it's not going to be. Yes, it was Jacob. Second person.
Oops, excuse me, second, sorry.
That's
Andy
good
Rose
news.
has to.
And timeout's going to be taken here by the Rockets. Let's check it. I believe it's going to be a 20. So we'll keep it here. And with that, we'll remind you today's game is brought to you by Manowski Welding. For custom fabrication of structural or ornamental steel, it's Manowski Welding Corporation. Plus, see Manowski for your fire protection needs, both industrial or residential. Visit Manowski at 200 North Main. Oh, following the 20-second timeout taken there by the Rockets, which I should mark down. Remind you, upcoming action on Friday night, we'll have high school hockey as Fond du Lac hosts the Invitational Tournament. The Antigo Red Robins come into town, number 2 ranked Antigo Red Robins, to take on Fond du Lac at 7:30. We'll have it for you at 10 o'clock. Fleming knocks down the first, we'll get one more. Misses it. Rose with the rebound. Our friends from WFDL, George Ballman and Tom Biolo, will have to call that game for us. 4:40 to go in the third quarter of play. Fond du Lac continues to be very patient offensively. Rose with it between the rings. He's going to work it to the right. Shrub, wide open shot. Won't go in. Saved him out of bounds and back into the hands of Hopkins. These are the Fleming. Looking to penetrate. Bump, bang. Shrum.
Shrum had a wide open shot that time. A shot that he'd normally make, but an excuse for Dan is he has not played basketball that much. Dan getting his... Andy Rose actually.
Okay.
Yep, getting his third foul.
Boy, I thought that was clearly on Shrum. I didn't even look at the officials. Andy Rose with the foul. Well, okay for Andy, however, it's his third. As the first one is good on the free throw, we'll get one more for Fleming. Fleming 2 for 3 from the charity stripe in the basketball game. Fleming second is also good. One thing that gets you a little bit nervous is Fleming, one of their leaders, starting to feel the life here a little bit. He's, matter of fact, scored all their points in the second half, 6 of them.
And Fleming, a guy you don't want to get hot because he can take control.
Drew Diener's shot is No good. A foul over the back will go against Hopkins.
Good job by Travis Diener that time. Got position, boxed out, and Hopkins had to foul that time
Hopkins
as he reached over the back.
will pick up his first personal foul. Cardinals inbound on a common foul. Drew Diener to have honors. Long inbounds pass to Mike Koenigs. Koenigs is going to look over the defense. Take his time between the rings. Now working to the right. Give it there to Travis Diener. Diener comes out. Looking to penetrate. Casey Jekyll shot. Bingo!
Good shot that time by Casey Jekyll. Wide open jumper. And Casey hit it.
33-22, your KFC score. Push off inside, no call from Oatman. And now a foul on Oatman.
Good job by Dan Schrum that time. That's where the Fond du Lac Cardinals missed Dan Schrum, is his tough ability on the boards. When he gets the board, nobody takes the basketball away from him.
Oatman's third. So Fond du Lac on the long inbounds pass, gives it to Schrum. Off the glass, no. And Jekyll mobbed. And now a travel. Jekyll was just annihilated underneath the basket as he went up for that rebound. Fond du Lac will keep the ball, but boy, was he belted.
Yeah, that time an obvious foul that the referees missed.
But Fond du Lac retains possession. Casey gets it on the inbounds pass. Nice sets a pick there for Diener. Back to Jekyll. Koenigs, Schrum, skip pass to Travis. Drew work it now between the rings. Jekyll sets the screen, now kicks it on the give and go. Casey Jekyll to the glass, good!
Good job by Casey Jekyll that time. Seen the lane go wide open and took it really hard to the hoop.
And timeout on the court. Neenah's seen enough for the time being. Fond du Lac has opened up a 13-point lead with 3:07 to go in the third. Timeout on the court. We'll be right back. And we'll remind you today's game. Well, first of all, we'll tell you what action we have coming your way. As we mentioned, we have the high school hockey game on Friday night, 7:30 face-off at the Blue Line FIC, Fond du Lac and Antigo. Then on Saturday, we'll have whichever game Fond du Lac is involved in that tournament. Could be either Eau Claire Memorial or New Richmond. The time, of course, we won't know because we don't know when they're playing. We'll let you know that on Friday night. Also, we'll remind you, we are doing Saturday night, right, Dave? Saturday night we'll have high school basketball also, as the Fond du Lac Gals will welcome the Kimberly Papermakers, and that will be a battle, Nick. Kimberly coming in here.
That'll be a really good basketball game. Kimberly, one of the top teams in the state. Fond du Lac's going to have a lot of game on their hands that night.
They will have to come with everything that they've got to show. Inbounds pass off the glass, nicely put in by Hopkins.
Hopkins that time, good job on taking it to Casey Jekyll and the big Fond du Lac defense.
Yeah, nice job over the top of Jekyll there, using on the glass. Give and go, Schrum loses the handle on it. Taken away by the Rockets. Here they come, right down Main Street. Steer puts it in.
Good timeout that time by Neenah. They come out here and rack off 4 points after the timeout.
Well, Tim Hoppensberger, the head coach, has been around for a while. He knows what's going on. And a blocking foul is going to be called on Sam Oatman. For Oatman, that will be his 4th. Up off the Pines is Aaron Shaw. He'll check in for Oatman, I'm sure, on a Nick stop whistle. Cardinals have found the inbounds. Get to Jekyll, lobs in past the Schrum, puts it in.
And that's the basket Dan Schrum needed, just to get that one basket from coming back. He struggled early on, and easy shot can sometimes spark you.
Travis Diener on the other end gets the foul, his first. That bucket by Schrum, oddly enough, the first points off the bench for Fond du Lac tonight. Typically, they have a pretty strong bench scoring, but hasn't been the case tonight.
Yeah, up and down the bench. Fond du Lac's bench is a very deep bench, and tonight not showing it, but give Neenah's defense a lot of credit. They're playing a good job.
And also, frankly, Fond du Lac has not gone too far to the bench tonight. They have pretty much stayed with their starting 5, with the exception of Schrum and Travis Diener.
Yeah, they only have gone, usually sometimes you'll see Steve Falk come in among other guys, but tonight only 2 guys off the bench.
Hopkins' fall away is no good. Fond du Lac brings it back up with 1:45 to go in the third. Diener is pushed, and a holding foul will be called. Check it. Fleming gets the foul. Second personal. 1:46 left in the third quarter of play. Fond du Lac with an 11-point edge. Travis Diener swinging between the rings to the far side of the court. Now back to Drew. Pulls up for 15. Back of the rim. No. And Schrum over the back. The foul.
Schrum doing a good job of, he's really playing physical tonight. Give him a lot of credit. The shots aren't falling, but he's a guy that doesn't give up, and he'll play physical all night long.
Schrum with his second personal. Hopkins going to take it towards the baseline. Now kick it back out to the top of the key. Give it off to Shaw. McQueen. Fleming pulling up 16 in front of the rim. Comes right back to him. A scramble on the floor. And a jump ball. Drew Diener wanted to foul.
He actually was calling a timeout at that time, and they didn't give him the timeout. They called the jump ball.
Okay. Possession will go back to the Rockets. Rockets inbound to Hopkins with it. He's going to swing it between the rings. Give it off to Shaw. Shaw penetrates, throws it at the glass, and gets it to go. That was a please help me shot there from Shaw.
Looky what I found.
That's exactly what it was. But nonetheless, it counts in the book. Back to a 9-point edge. 37-28, your KFC score. Diener looking to the left, in some trouble. Now gets it to their side. Schrum. Air ball might have been partially blocked. And the ball will go back to the Rockets. And the Neenah fans here are letting them know about it.
All Strum's got to keep doing is just shooting the ball. Eventually the shot will come back to him. He plays physical, and he never gives up, and you got to give him a lot of credit.
Fleming's running one-hander inside, short in front of the rim, and Jekyll at the board. Jekyll, Diener, and Schrum have just been awesome on the boards tonight.
Yeah, they have. All 3 guys have done a really good job on banging the boards when they have to, and getting a lot of second-chance shots.
Rock rolls down to 15 seconds. Fond du Lac wants the last look at things. Diener with it. Let's move it down to 10. Bump, bang, foul.
Travis is doing a good job tonight of penetrating and dishing out. That time you seen it, he got fouled that time, but he's driving to the hoop when he sees an open lane, and then the lane closes and he dishes it off. Good job tonight by Travis Diener.
Shaw gets his first personal. Rinke's going to come in for Drew Diener, and Coach Dick Diener wants to use this opportunity to give Drew this 9 seconds plus the time of the break to get a little extra breather.
Drew hasn't sat on the bench much at all tonight. Been a big factor in the game, and this is a good time. 9 seconds that you really don't need him to get him a little breather.
Travis Diener off the baseline, long on the rim, tipped it, no. And a foul over the back on Jekyll. Yep. For Jekyll, it will be number 3, and it also will be a bonus situation as the Rockets will have an opportunity to pick up a couple of cheap points here with 4 seconds to go.
And Neenah, that's a big factor in this game. Neenah, actually, Fond du Lac isn't far away from the bonus either. So Neenah right now getting a chance with 4 seconds left to get 2 gimme points.
McQueen will come to our end of the court where we're sitting and have an opportunity to put a couple on. His first is rim's no good. Schrum with the board. Clock rolls to 2 to 1. Throws it length of the court. And we've come to the end of the third quarter of play. After 3 quarters here from the Redbird Arena, your KFC score. The Fond du Lac Cardinals 37. The Neenah Rockets 28. We'll be right back.
Or small for Spees Painting and Decorating. So whether your needs are residential...
Look at the third quarter stats.
Okay, first for the Fond du Lac Cardinals, they were 6 of 17 shooting for 35%, 8 rebounds, and doing a good job on taking care of the basketball in the third quarter. 1 turnover. For the Neenah Rockets, they were 4 of 13 shooting for 31%, 4 rebounds, and 2 turnovers.
Cardinals inbound the ball, and we're underway here for the final 8. Phoenix brings it across the timeline. Fleming defensively working on him. Both teams have turned up the intensity on the defensive side of the basketball all night long. The word go. As you recall, our first quarter score at the end of 8 minutes was only 8-4. A lot of defense in this game. Cardinals continue to be patient offensively. Andy Rose checks back in to start the quarter. Rose reverses, pumps once, twice, gets it. Rim won't go, and a foul on Rose. Andy's having a rough night tonight. He's got 2 points, and that's his 4th foul.
The ball just not falling that time. A foul that if you're Andy Rose, you don't want to pick up because that's his 4th foul and in foul trouble here early on in the 4th quarter. So that was a foul, a retaliation foul, and that's a foul that you just don't want.
You know, Fond du Lac, as Schrum comes back in, Fond du Lac's got something to worry about right here. A lot of time left in this game. Rose now with 4, Jaco with 3, and Schrum with 3. So fouls could be a factor here down the stretch. You're talking all your power inside rebounding.
And also Neenah is in the bonus right now, so you know if they hit their free throw shots, which they missed that one, they can get back in this basketball game.
But Green now 0 for 2 in the night from the free throw line. Fond du Lac works it up court. Drew Diener with it. Going to the left side sidewalk. Back to Jaco. To the rings. Jaco looking for some help. Somebody's got to pop out and help out. Now he gets Diener going towards the baseline. Pulls up for 3. Good!
Good shot that time by Drew Diener. Wide open three-pointer, and he hit it.
Big 3 for Drew. Flipping right back the other way. Blocking foul on Rinke. Brad will pick up a 2nd.
That was a tough one to see that time. I didn't catch if Brad Rinke had position or not. He's claiming that he had his position, had his hands in the air, and it was an offensive foul. I didn't catch it.
I either. I was still, the transition came so quick I hadn't marked all the points yet. Through the free throw line, Fleming once again will shoot 2. First one rims and goes in. He'll get 1 more. Fleming now 4 for 5 in the basketball game from the charity stripe. 2nd on the way, likewise good. 10-point edge for Fond du Lac, 40-30. The full court pressure, however, really has not been a factor in this basketball game.
Fond du Lac has done a good job of breaking it. Neenah really not, pressing that much. They're not really playing tight on Fond du Lac's offense, and it's been easy for Fond du Lac to break.
Rinke works it to the far side. Koenig's with it. Now brings it back between the rings to the near side.
What Fond du Lac wants to do right now is just get an open shot, take care of the basketball, and let the time run off the clock. They're up by 10 points right now at 40-30.
Fond du Lac with their original starting lineup back in the basketball game. Drew.
Except for Rose.
Oh yeah, exactly. A 3-pointer from Koenig.
Mike Koenig's that time with a 3-pointer. Fond du Lac 2 of 3 shooting from the field, 2 of 2 from the 3-point line here in the 4th quarter.
Just like that, Fleming puts it off the glass for 2. 43-32, I should say, is your KFC score.
This game's going to come right down to the final horn.
Fond du Lac still working out front with the 11-point edge. What bothers you a little bit is the foul situation. But the more time Fond du Lac takes the offensive end will aid them in that.
And Neenah doesn't seem too worried about Fond du Lac taking off any time. Fond du Lac doing a good job on being patient, and Neenah really not pressing him that much.
Schrum knocks in the 16-footer, his 4th point in the basketball game. Working inside. Hawkins, no, traveling.
That's a call that the Fond du Lac fans have wanted the whole game, and finally here in the 4th quarter they get it.
Mike Koenig gets a breather. Travis Stevens into the basketball game. Travis has played very well. As, of course, Mike at the point guard. Both points have done an exceptional job in this basketball game.
And the game against Oshkosh West, those 2 guys were the key in the game, too, because Oshkosh West had the full court press, and so did Neenah, and those 2 guys are key in the game. We mentioned early on in the pregame.
Jaco's shot is no good. The Rockets out on the run. Kick it back out. Stir. 3 ball. Monty's hitting the court. Officials just clean up the mess a little bit, and Fond du Lac will inbound the ball. Leading it by 10 with 4:57 to go. Foul on Craig Stir.
And now Fond du Lac is in the bonus, and they'll get 2 free throw shots. That's his 4th foul.
Into the game for the Rockets comes that Aaron Shaw once again, as Craig Stir is going to leave. It's been a very quick game up to this point, but I suspect that this last 4:56 will take a while. Travis Neenah's shot off the back of the rim, no. Schrum tries to save but can't. So the Rockets a chance to cut this thing in single digits with a bucket here. Holtman working to the left. Rinke on the defense, now swinging between the rings, near side, John Fleming. Holtman. The shot is good from 12.
Neenah now 3 of 3 shooting here in the 4th quarter, so they're kind of heating up in the 4th, but so is Fond du Lac.
Nice giving. Good job on transition as Rinke puts it in.
Casey Jekyll had his hands on that ball for probably a half a second. Seen Brad Rinke streaking to the hoop. Good job by both guys.
That's the second time in this game they've run a 3-man breakout to perfection. Neenah shot, no. Pulled down by Travis Neenah. Travis challenged, gets the ball up to Schrum, Jekyll. Drims won't go, pulled down there by Oatman. Rockets on the run. Takes the glass, spins, puts it up, and good. Tough shot!
Nice shot that time.
Sam Oatman on reverse. Tough shot. Cardinals on transition, trying to retaliate, and Jekyll puts it in.
Good job by Fond du Lac, giving up a basket but coming right back down, and Casey Jekyll hitting it.
3 ball, front of the rim, won't go in there for Oatman. Guess he's got to get closer to the basket. And Wheels reverse. Razzle-dazzle plays. 3:25 to go in the contest. Fond du Lac leads it by 10. Jekyll gives it off to Travis Neenah. Now, Rinke pops out between the rings. And a foul. Will go against the Rockets' Aaron Shaw.
That time, Drew Diener and Shaw were pushing. Drew was trying to get his position on the post-up, and we've seen that play early on before. Both guys battling to get a position, and a foul called that time on Shaw.
And timeouts could be taken here. Let's check it. It's a full, I believe. Yep, full timeout. And we'll remind you that today's action brought to you by WFTL Sports. Sunny 97.7 on your FM dial. With Tom Viola, Greg Stenson on the call for basketball. Call tonight's action, of course. And they will be calling, Tom Viola and George Bowman will be calling the hockey game on Friday night from the Blue Line FIC. A 7:45 pregame, no, check that, 7:15 pregame for them on Sunny 97. And likewise, they'll have the call for us. Today's game also brought to you by Ma and Pa's Grocery Express, where they've made many changes. The pumps are now open. Stop in and grab a movie or some chicken after the game at Ma and Pa's on Main and 12th Street. Well, 3:11 left. Fond du Lac has been able to maintain that 10-point edge for the most of the second half here. Neenah able to cut it to 8 at one point, but Fond du Lac quickly went right back up with it.
When Fond du Lac goes on a little bit of a run, so does Neenah, and likewise, when Neenah goes on a little bit of a run, so does Fond du Lac.
Diener puts down his first. We'll get one more. Jekyll has been the leader in the second half with 8 points here. 14 in the basketball game. Drew knocks down a pair. Drew now with the 11 points in the game. Hopkins works it between the rings to Fleming. Fleming's going to pull up and fouled by Koenigs. There'll be a 2-shot foul. Mike will pick up his second personal. So Fleming will go to the free throw line.
If Neenah's going to win this game, right now is the time that they got to make the run. They're down by 12 now, and they've got to make a big run in order to get back and possibly win the game.
Fleming hits the first. He's 6 for 7 from the line in the game. Second on the way, and likewise good. Good-looking ball player, John Fleming, senior. Hopkins also a senior. Both are leaders, senior, so you've got that leadership to go with it.
Fleming, the third leading scorer in the Fox Valley Association.
And Hopkins the second. Drew Diener, the basketball is up top.
Good patient offense right now by Fond du Lac. Not too worried about taking it to the hoop and getting some points. They just want to run the time off the clock.
And they've been effective with it. As you mentioned, for the most part, Neenah really hasn't done a very good job of forcing Fond du Lac to go to the basket. Their defense have been chasing and really not have done a good job. They may have to start to foul, and now they do. Foul's going to go against Aaron Shaw, will be his third.
And the thing with Fond du Lac, they're a very good, free throw shooting team. So that's a problem for Neenah, is if you put Fond du Lac at the line, most times Fond du Lac will come out with 2 points.
And Mike Koenigs will go there. This will be a 1+1, and from here on out, everything for both teams will be double bonus. That will favor Fond du Lac. And Koenigs misses the one and only he'll get, pulled down by Oatman. Here comes Sam. Leads it off to Hopkins. To the glass. Whacked by Diener. Near side with it, Shaw. Hopkins again. Rims won't go. And Matt Hopkins not having the kind of game he'd like.
Averaging 20 points a game, and tonight just not the kind of game that he wanted to come out and have.
McQueen, the foul, his second. Hopkins with 8 points in the basketball game, but as we mentioned, coming in averaging 20. It just has not gotten in a rhythm all night long. Give a lot of credit to that Fond du Lac defense. To the free throw line, Casey Jacob. He'll shoot 2 on a double bonus here. He has not been to the charity stripe in the basketball game. And gets the first to go. He'll get one more. Second on the way, also good. Fond du Lac now leads it by 12 with exactly 2 minutes to go. Fleming wants to take the three, can't, now penetrates, kicks it off to Hopkins, looking inside. Fond du Lac overplays, Diener away with it.
Good defense that time by Fond du Lac. Neenah really taking their time on offense.
And Travis puts it in, and a blocking ball.
Good job by Travis Diener tonight. He's had a really big game, not scoring-wise, but passing. That time he gets credited for a basket.
Ball will go against Shaw, his fourth. And he has had I agree with you, he's had an outstanding basketball game. If I was to pick a player of the game at this point, it may be Travis Diener for his overall court leadership when he's done with the basketball. That was only his first bucket of the game, but he has really done a nice job.
Yeah, he's taking control in the full court press. He's the guy that gets it out of it. Him and Mike Koenigs, both point guards, have done a really good job tonight.
Fleming, a long three, good. That's a downtown Freddie Brown job.
That shot was from Campbellsport.
Is that the right direction? Off the inbound, the foul will go against Craig Steer, and he's done for the night. Tim Hoffensberger will use his time here to talk to his crew. And Dick Diener likewise brings his guys over for a quick moment.
Right now for Fond du Lac, if they take care of the basketball, 12-point lead, all they got to do is take care of the basketball, run the time off the clock, they'll have a victory.
Right. KFC features home delivery. Take the hassle out of mealtime with KFC. Right now, order the Packer Backer meal for $29.99, 20 pieces of chicken, your choice, and 5 large sides. Call now at 921-5440. Drew Diener to the charity stripe, shoot a pair. Speaking of the Packer Backers, the Pack going to take care of business this weekend?
I think so. On the KFIZ sports line that I work at KFIZ, we had a Tampa Bay guy on yesterday, and Mark Heidorf was filling in for the vacationing Chuck Freeman. He said to one of the media guys, he goes, "Come on, tell me the truth. Do you guys actually think that Tampa Bay will beat the Green Bay Packers?" And he says, Tampa Bay has no chance. He gave it to us straight out. Tampa has no chance.
Speaking of no chance, Rockets lose the ball out of bounds on the inbounds, and they'll go right back to Fond du Lac, and I think their night is about done. Cardinals well in control, and a foul, and that should have been intentional.
Yeah, that foul was, he took Drew Diener's head off on that one.
And also falling out there is Oatman, and unnecessary roughness if you want to throw a flag there. Really kind of swung Drew a little bit. No need to do that.
Just a frustration foul right now for Neenah. They know they're not going to get back into this basketball game. Fond du Lac up by 14 points with 1:28 remaining, and Fond du Lac looks like they're going to go on to remain undefeated on the season.
You know, there's really no need for that, though. I mean, Neenah has always been a class organization. This conference has always been a good, classy basketball conference, and today's game also brought to you by, as Neenah goes to the line and misses the front end, Jetstream Car Wash, with 2 locations in Fond du Lac. Fond du Lac's original car wash since 1962. Their new oil and lube center is opening soon. A free full-service car wash with every oil change. That's a $9 value. Can't go wrong with that. That's a Jetstream of Fond du Lac. Diener gets 1 out of 2. And Rose gets the foul, and I think that's all for Andy.
Andy Rose, a game that he didn't want to have tonight, kind of struggled, but players have that kind of game, a game that you struggle. Andy Rose has been a solid player all season long, and he's going to rebound from the game tonight.
Yeah, the Fond du Lac bench there. Oh, absolutely. You know, that's what makes Fond du Lac such a great team, is they have so many weapons. Everyone, as you mentioned, is going to have an off night. That's going to happen in basketball. It happens in the pros as Fleming hits the first. Everyone's going to have that off night. But Fond du Lac Cardinals, with the number of weapons, and I've used the cliche of choose your poison. And somebody's always going to step forward in this team.
When Drew has a bad night, Jekyll, Rose, or Ranke step up. Vice versa. Ranke has a bad night. You know, they've got 5 guys on the court and 5 guys that are solid basketball players. Their whole starting lineup is solid, and even the guys off the bench are really good, and they'll step up any given night.
Fleming picks up the foul. Jekyll to the line. Right now, Neenah just taking fouls to stop the clock, but too little too late for them. Jekyll's front is good. We'll get 1 more. Second, likewise, is nothing but net. Casey, a perfect 4 for 4. It's had a fine game also. Off the near side, Oatman, that's Grant Oatman. Air ball is the 3-pointer. Now Fond du Lac get their opportunity to let know about an air ball. Fond du Lac just want to run the clock, exactly 1 minute to go. Diener, offensive foul, I think. No?
They called that foul that time on Fleming, but they say it was a blocking foul. I think Drew Diener was up in the air and had that shot go down.
I think I don't know how you can call that and not give the shot.
It was plain as day that Drew was up in the air when the foul happened.
Well, that's Fleming's 5th. He's done. 4th person to fall out in this basketball game.
Does Neenah have any starters left?
Oh yeah, they got a few left. But I think it's physically impossible to have that call.
Yeah.
You cannot not count the basket and then call a foul on a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, Drew was up in the air shooting when the foul happened, and you know, a blocking foul. It could be a blocking foul, but you got to give Drew those shots.
Well, if it's what they're saying is obviously it was before the shot.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Diener hits a pair. 63-46. 3-point ball by Hopkins. No, Fond du Lac with another board. Cardinals need to do nothing more than run some clock. Downtown, Jekyll underlays with 40 seconds to go. Hopkins pulls up from 3-point land, puts it in.
33 seconds now on the clock. 63 to 49, so Fond du Lac pretty much has this game.
Yeah, Fond du Lac to go 7-0 in the season, 5-0 in the FBA. Fond du Lac, the number 2 rated team in the state of Wisconsin.
Overcame 2 tough tests. They had Oshkosh West a few nights ago, and tonight, Fond du Lac showing why they're at the top of the conference.
Backdoor, Drew Diener puts it in.
And there's that pass again from Travis Diener. Yep. Travis had a really big game tonight, and you would agree with me, MVP probably for the game.
Very unselfish effort from Travis Diener. Your final KFC score tonight, your Fond du Lac Cardinals, 65. The Neenah Rockets, 49. The Cardinals stay perfect on the season with a tough win over the Neenah Rockets. Nick and I'll be right back to wrap it up right after this on your Cardinal Basketball Report.
From Spees can handle it. Calls.
A very tough Neenah Rocket team. They come out with a lot of talent, and they hustle, and they'll scrap with you all the way through. But the Cardinals, down the stretch, took control of this basketball game.
Yeah, 2 games that they really had to get up for, and they went to Oshkosh West and beat the Indians pretty convincingly. And tonight did a pretty good job on the Neenah Rockets. So Fond du Lac, 2 tough tests early on in the season, and those are the games where we said early on they're going to be the test for Fond du Lac to see how good of a team they are. And they stood up to both tests. Tonight, Fond du Lac's defense was in control and only allowing 4 points in the first quarter.
Right.
That's great defense. That's all I can say. And so good job by Fond du Lac tonight.
Well, Fond du Lac was welcome Dan Schrum back. He's an enforcer inside. When you talk about defense, you need a guy like that who can get the job done. Dieter led the way again tonight. Jekyll had a fine game for him. But we talked about through the course of this game, I thought Travis Dieter was a real spark for him. Mike Koenig did a nice job at the point. Mike is obviously the leader on this basketball team. But I think spelling him, and also they went several times tonight where both of them were together. The extra ball handling gets some good pressure defense. And I thought the play of Travis was especially nice, where he was able to penetrate a couple times, get the ball in, get the pressure to double up, and then be able to kick it out.
Yeah, mentioning Dan Schrum early on, that's a guy, he struggled shooting tonight. He had a couple fall for him, but his attitude on the court and his tough play is what Fond du Lac missed. Steve Falk did a good job on filling in for him while he was gone, but his leadership and attitude and toughness on the court showed tonight for Fond du Lac. Travis Diener probably was the player of the game. We've seen a couple times the 3-on-1 a couple times going down for Fond du Lac, and Travis Diener would get the ball and he'd touch it for maybe a second, if that, and hand the ball out. Travis, 1 basket tonight, but his leadership, getting him out of the full court press was big tonight, and so was Mike Koenig's. And Travis, his passing skills were really good tonight, and he really impressed me big time.
Best news at all, he's only a freshman. We'll have him around for a while. But a good team win for the Fond du Lac Cardinals tonight. Everybody came to play. That's important when you have key conference games. Let's take a look at the final stats for tonight's basketball game.
Okay, first for the Fond du Lac Cardinals, 22 of 51 shooting for 43%, 15 for 21 from the charity stripe for 71%, 28 rebounds and 8 turnovers. 7 of those turnovers were in the first half, only 1 turnover in the second half, so good job by Fond du Lac to take care of the ball in the second half. For the Neenah Rockets, they were 15 for 54 shooting, 28%, 10 for 14 from the charity stripe for 71%, 19 rebounds, and 10 turnovers.
And as we take a look at the scoring leaders here for the basketball game, Fond du Lac is led by Drew Diener, coming alive in the 7 points in the second half, with, check that, 10 at halftime, 11 in the second half, 21 points. Casey Jekyll, nice fine outing, 18 points. Rinke, a nice game, 12 points. But a good team effort all the way around for the Fond du Lac Cardinals tonight. And the Rockets led by their pair of outstanding players, the second and third scorers in the conference. They flipped places tonight. Fleming with 20 points, Hopkins with 11. JV action, well, let me remind you, first of all, our stats, as always, brought to you by Lens Sales and Service. Stop in and check out our Snowway snowplows at Jerry Lens Sales and Service. Don't know if we neglected to tell you earlier on, Fond du Lac JV team, likewise winners tonight. They stayed perfect on the season as they won 45-41 over the Rockets. So Fond du Lac Cardinals now go 7-0 on the season, 5-0 in the Fox Valley Association. The Neenah Rockets will go to 5-2 overall, 4-1 in FVA action. So that'll about wrap it up here from the Redbird Arena. Fond du Lac Cardinals, big winners tonight, 65-49. But before we get out of here, we'll remind you we've got some games coming up yet this weekend. First of all, before we get to the weekend, let me remind you or wish you all a very happy New Year. New Year's right around the corner here, so we wish all of you on behalf of our crew and sponsors a very happy 1998 from our Video Sports crew, and more importantly, a very safe 1998. Everyone be safe for the holiday weekend, please. We need you back for our viewership. But following the New Year's break, we'll be back at Friday as the Fond du Lac Cardinals will have their invitational hockey tournament at the Blue Line FIC. Anago Red Robins in town for a 7:30 face-off against the Cardinals. We'll have that one for you at 10 o'clock. Saturday, we will have whichever game Fond du Lac is involved in, either Eau Claire Memorial or New Richmond, whichever game. We'll let you know the times on that Friday night during the hockey game. Also, Saturday night, then we'll have a doubleheader as we'll skip back over here to the Redbird Arena. The Fond du Lac Lady Cardinals will play host to the Kimberly Papermakers. That will be a very tough game for the Cardinals. Kimberly, one of the top teams in the state of Wisconsin in girls basketball. Well, Fond du Lac wins it tonight, 65-49. Thanks to our Video Sports crew tonight. And they include on camera, topside has been Matt Bastian. Working the end zone, Nancy Pfeiffer. Down in the van, double duty tonight, Dave Preston handling all the technical duties as well as electronic graphics. Jeff Gerner at Marcus Cable is our chief technician. Nick Van Acker with all of our stats and statistics. For Nick, Dave, and the rest of the Video Sports crew, I'm Mike Pfeiffer wishing each and every one of you a very good evening, reminding you that this has been a Video Sports presentation. Thanks for viewing us here on Marcus Cable, Channel 7.